After finally arriving in Iceland after a year of talking about it, we were excited to get out of the city and explore the country. So the first free weekend we got, we rented a car and hit the road. We had 3 days, so made our way to the nearby Snaefellsnes Peninsula. Our first stop was Gerðuberg, which was a humongous cliff with hexagonal basalt columns similar to the one in Giant's Causeway in Ireland.
Like that looks like it can fall at any second.
Then we stopped off at a beach where I'd heard that hundreds of seals made their home for the summer. There were only a handful of seals when we were there, but a lot of nesting birds who happened to hate us.
This is getting attacked. Oh, det är roligt.
You must be standing right on its nest or something.
Next, we took a walk up to Bjarnarfoss waterfall. As amazing as the waterfall itself was, the view was incredible.
I can feel the spray from here.
For the last stop of the day, we went to check out the Black Church in the village of Budir, which really only consisted of one hotel and the church. Finally, we needed somewhere to stay for the night. There was some camping grounds that we were intending to stay at, but after discovering that it was going to cost about 40 Canadian dollars for us to pitch our own tent, with only a toilet included in the facilities, we decided that that wasn't going to work for us. Now, camping rough in Iceland is legal, but it made me super uncomfortable. I didn't and still don't like the idea of squatting on someone's land, but I figured as long as we were respectful and made sure not to leave any garbage, it would have to do. I was ridiculously picky about where we stopped, but eventually was satisfied with a place that seemed completely out of anyone's way. Plus, it had great scenery.
This is our little tent. Life of luxury in here. It actually is.
We started off the next morning with a hike through a gorge. Then we did the cliff walk from Arnastapi to Helna. On the road again, we stopped to get some gas in a small town. The guy who was working there suggested that we go further into the town to check out the street art. And obviously I was like, yes, that is exactly what we're gonna do. And it didn't disappoint. Afterwards, we did a cave tour, which was really neat, but I didn't get any footage of it, unfortunately. The next attraction was the Kirkjufell Mountain that was featured in an episode of Game of Thrones. After a long day of driving, we found a little corner to put up our tent and called it a night. In the morning, we made our way back to our new home in Reykjavik. The Snaefellsnes Peninsula doesn't have any of the big attractions that are typically associated with Iceland, like the Blue Lagoon or the geyser, but what makes this area of the country so wonderful is how rural it feels. There were so few people, including tourists, at every stop, with the exception of Kirkjufell Mountain in fairness, but other than that, it felt like we had the entire place to ourselves most of the time. It was perfect for our first mini trip in Iceland because it only fueled our desire to see more.